Talking about you got this and you got that, and you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes, but is not limited to, Mystery Box Landon. What's poppin', Mystery Box?
I've been karma farming. I've been doing nice things for people. It's been working out. I got this gift here from my mom. Thank you, Mom.
You ever see the movie Seven?
No. What is that?
What's in the box?
Thank you, Berkey.
Oh, I only know about like D in a box, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one too. I have to tell you, Lamanna, this outfit is particularly fantastic today because though you are indeed wearing an undershirt that I believe is pinkish.
Yeah.
It looks like just a full Guido tracksuit that you got on right now.
This is the best I could do.
No, but like it looks like you're just rocking it, no undershirt, like chest hair flowing.
Just like, yeah. It's like I just don't have chest hair.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in
Which is not true.
I don't want to like ravage the box.
I'm just trying to distract from
I get it.
I really hope it's like some sex toys or something.
inmate leaving the asylum.
Right. I mean, it's got to be something good in there. Oh.
Does it?
I
Man.
just feel like I've had like a box.
I really hope there's like 7 more boxes, actually.
It looks like there's not a lot in there. It looks like a
this
lot
box
of
is
paper.
extremely excessive.
Why don't you set it on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, set it on the floor maybe.
My mom
Yeah.
just wanted me to make a mess on the podcast.
Okay, well.
I do that every day.
You are definitely doing that.
Oh, look at this.
Oh.
I really feel like she packed this herself.
That's what it was?
No.
It was a
Giant
chest
box
piece.
and it was a little chest piece.
I'm scared. I don't want
When I was like, I don't know, 12, my mom gave me this huge fucking box for Christmas, and there was 14 boxes inside of it.
what was this?
Ah, it's a chessboard.
Wow.
Maybe. Oh no, it's a picture album.
It is.
Or a picture.
It looks broken is what it is.
Oh yes.
So this is a Airbnb camera detector, I guess. So that's for when I go to places.
Wait, what?
I think there was
An
a bit about
Airbnb. Oh, so you're saying it's like searching for bugs.
It was
yeah.
a fucking conspiracy going around on TikTok,
That there's like people are just watching
like
you
in the
they're-
mirrors in the bathroom and shit,
Well,
which I don't
And then,
think is
look at
a
this.
thing.
I mean, this has got to get glued back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't be a
Unfortunate for
problem.
the shipping.
Very
but look
unlucky.
at this. It's like a little photo album, picture stuff of things that I've done.
Wow.
Guapo, move the camera.
Sorry, I was actually
You're
looking.
good. Your Guapo was looking at it off screen. But yeah, it's my mom
that's
loves scrap.
nice.
Yeah, it is. Like the soft for wire on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
Well, this
Look
is
at
supposed
that.
to be there. So just imagine that is there like this.
Because you're a chess guy.
'Cause I'm
King
a
and queen.
'Cause I'm no, I am
There's
a
a queen
chess guy
there.
here and there. But yeah, so she loves scrapbooking and stuff.
Is
I
your
didn't
queen
know,
in there?
Is one here?
Is your queen in there?
No. She didn't. She
She
didn't
made the cut.
yeah, this is it. She didn't make the cut.
Very subtle
Didn't make the cut.
implications here by mom.
Right. Come on, Mom. Gotta put the queen.
Messaging is real.
That looks awesome.
It's
though.
funny because wow. She used a picture that we took when I got 4th in the main WPT in November when Mallory came down to Sweat FT. And there was like a group picture, but she didn't use that picture. She used the one of me and her.
She cropped her
Yeah,
out.
she knows how this works, buddy.
Right.
You know.
Smart mom.
This is the insurance collage.
Women come and go, but you know.
But
Mom's
pictures of me and
scrapbooks are
moms, we
forever.
stay. Yeah, we're staying.
I do have to talk to
Let me
Marnie
get a
about her
little- let me get a
shipping
look at
skills.
that.
I think she could have saved a little money on smaller packaging.
It's very clear she packed that one
Yeah,
herself.
goals.
Yeah.
think we could have.
That box is a little
You can
big.
move the box to the side.
I gotta tell you, I don't show up to a shipping place with things already in the box.
Pirates.
You don't go to a
You
shipping
have
place,
Pirates?
period.
No, but if I did, like, I bring the thing I'm shipping,
Of course.
and I say,
Make it happen.
do what you do.
Yeah. Make it happen.
And they charge me 20% extra to make sure that it gets there unbroken.
Understood.
And that's fine.
It's just a sea of blonde.
I feel like I want to put this. I want to put this there for now.
I mean, you can put it wherever you want. No one can see it.
Thank you, Mom. I will put this in my room. I wonder what's the original purpose of something like this? Because it's not for this. It's not for pictures, right? Like
Oh,
there's
it's a
handles.
tray. It's like a food tray, right?
Yeah.
There's handles on
Maybe
it.
like a
it's a food
charcuterie
tray.
board or something, you know?
Wow, so I can use it as a charcuterie board.
I would not put salami on
That
it
is
or drop the
100% what Landon will do.
Do not
I'll put my
it's
my
like-
plates on it.
desecrate.
No, it's like a dinner tray. It's what you give kids when they want to eat on the couch.
Little TV dinner meal. Wow,
Yeah.
they got the Thrill Team picture in here. There's me with the trophies.
I just love that you played for the Pirates. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, for the Little League small baseball.
Mhm.
Me and my brothers.
Huge Bucko fan.
Midget baseball?
Yeah, basically.
Bro.
It's Trump's America. We're back.
You're the one that fucking said, what do you guys
It's
call it?
football. It's football.
Oh, so is it
It's
different?
midget football, and I don't feel bad saying it. Like, I don't know what else to call it, man.
Pee-wee football.
Pee-wee football, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single human being in 1994 that did not refer to the Lancers as midget football.
Right. I mean, they said Pee Wee football too.
Now-
One or the other. No, I think they said it back then too, but they also said both.
Pee-wee means the same thing.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Mom. Thank you for this gift. I'm sorry that the packaging has ruined the king part of the board.
It's not ruined. It's just temporarily
glue.
Yeah.
disabled.
All right, moving on. Matt Hunt has a follow-up to his first multi-way course, Theory in the Chaos. This is Theory in the Chaos 2. We're going to give you a little sneak preview of what you guys are in store for.
Our focus for this course is going to be to use Rocket Solver's new node locking features to explore some multi-way scenarios with a more micro-level focus. How much aggression is viable for us as the pre-flop raiser in each scenario? How does each of the assumptions we make about the strategies of our opponents influence our approach? And can we make reasonable simplifications to our strategy, such as range betting or range checking, to make these multi-way spots a lot easier to navigate? In general, this has been a really interesting course for me to make. I've learned a lot myself here.
All right, that is the latest and greatest in the new technology that's out via Rocket Solver. It's able to solve multi-way spots beyond three-way. If you guys ain't fucking with it, Matt Hunt is. So you guys can go ahead and head to solveforwhat.io. Check out this new, I believe it's a 5-part course, 4-part course.
There's 5.
Maybe 7, who knows?
Yeah,
but there's a lot.
5.
So it's a now 5-part follow-up to an original 6-part start off. It's a lot of multi-way. Where else are you going to get this kind of stuff? You know, just only solveforwhy.io. So head over there. Check it out. We got a lot to talk about today. Actually, we don't have a lot to talk about today, but we have things to talk about today.
We opened things
There
today.
were things that occurred.
Things were opened.
One thing of note, friend of the show, Miss Nikki Limo. She's recently stepped away from Ignition Casino. Big announcement yesterday. She said, I was brought on board to create poker content. I thank them for the opportunity. I wish them the very best. Looking forward to the next chapter, whatever that may be. Salute, sir.
Did they rug her?
Ma'am.
To be determined, I suppose.
She's like, I was brought on to do poker content, and they never paid me. No,
It was a little open-ended. No, I mean, I don't know what.
just trying to start rumors.
Yeah, obviously, I don't know what led to her stepping down, and she wasn't very descriptive with regards to why. But the timing was obviously very good, given the most recent. What the fuck was it that Hastings was in?
Bot.
Bot ring.
Right, the MTT with
All the high rollers.
with the max late reg,
Yeah.
where it's just a bot farm.
Just Ollie's.
What's your betting odds on where she goes next?
That's actually a really good question.
Yeah, I would say it's probably like
She's a free
minus
agent.
225 for WPT gold, I would say probably about even money for Poker Stars. And then I would go.
I would flip those two.
I would flip them, as well.
I don't think Gold is
I
signing
think her
new
brand
ambassadors.
is way more on WPT.
I don't.
And she's
Also, her
friend-
and Caitlyn are.
her Caitlyn, her
Yeah.
Marley.
Right.
Like
I mean,
I don't think Gold is signing new ambassadors either. Like they have Rampage, they have Brado, and they have Phil Ivey. They
don't have
have
any.
Well, the Book of Conrad is open.
Schwan.
It's
might
but
not
nobody.
get
None of
paid.
these people make kind of like content with like her.
I do agree with that.
Nobody makes content like her when it comes down to it. The stuff that she's been putting out recently is very, very, very fucking good. And any poker site should be throwing a lot of money at her right now.
I actually do agree with both.
A
of those
lot
things.
of fucking money because like there's nobody putting out. Or Greg goes all in. He's
It's the
great.
nicest thing
And-
you've
No,
ever said
but
about Nikki.
Yeah, but
Well, I hope she stubs her fucking toe as she walks into the place. But right now, she's putting out very, very, very good content the last 2 months.
Nikki and Greg's content is very different. I think.
Yes.
Greg's template is unique to himself, and I think it's really good. Nikki's is a lot more
for everything.
It's broader.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so it can apply to a lot of different avenues. It's very topical. Whatever's going on, she does a good job of hitting it. And yeah, I agree with you. I think her content's really good. I also think that like, for better or for worse, because like obviously we're not happy to see people sponsoring or sponsored by Ignition, I guess. But this was a good launching pad.
Oh, this is great for her.
And I think like the content that she's rolled out created a template for those other Ignition pros to not pros, whatever the fuck, content creators, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like this is like the hand history stuff. You mean?
No.
a sense?
I think like the comedy that like Sethi does and Josh, like it's. I don't want to say it's similar, but like it follows. Some of the stuff follows a similar template.
So I'm not sure, but I think Sethi's stuff was all previously done
It was.
and just repackaged.
Yeah. I think that's true too, which is super sharp.
It's just like, I gotta give this to the video.
Like incredible that all you have to do is go back and add a watermark, and suddenly you're just like inked up for life.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do think that this is the path that most sites are going to veer down. Like for the better part of 15 years, this is what I think sites expected poker players to do when they signed them. It's like, oh, well, we're Full Tilt Poker. We're going to make you a red pro. And I think that somehow they wanted them to be, kind of out in the community, boots on the ground, like shaking hands, kissing babies, and being ever present. And, we're just not naturally very good at that. And then somewhere in the late 2010s, the content machine started to roll. The Ingrams, the Polks, and that of the world started to kind of like blur the lines between poker pro and entertainer. And now I think that the line's like a pretty hard divide where it's like there are entertainers who also play poker, and then there are ambassadors, guys like Pads, who he creates great content also, but like if he never did another Instagram story again, he would still be valuable to coin poker in a very different way.
Yeah, just like the background stuff. Like there's literally nobody more valuable for the internet of a site than Nikki.
In
my
what
opinion.
regard?
Like just like
You mean like getting brand recognition?
yeah,
Yeah.
like Rampage, even though he gets whatever millions.
Oh, Rampage is a whole different ball game when it comes to getting eyes on your
Rampage is great
stuff.
for people that want to be customer support agents. Oh, hey, yeah, this is Coinbase calling you. I heard you had an issue. I'm going to send you this wiring info. Just send your stuff there. You can send a credit card if you want to as well. Sick, the graphics there. That's great.
I can't believe this.
So let me get this straight, because I didn't really quite understand it, but he sent a coin
USDC to Coinbase, and Coinbase does not support it, I believe.
Well, no, Coinbase definitely supports USDC. I think he was trying to send a random coin.
No.
He said to his USDC.
Read the
Let's
first
just
line.
read
Read the first line. This happens all the time. Every time I open my Trezor, I have 1 million new unsupported tokens, and generally they're like some phishing scam. It says, I accidentally had an unsupported token sent to my Coinbase USDC address. So,
Oh, okay, sorry.
sorry, I was wrong about the phishing thing, but it sounds like he wanted a coin sent to his sent to some address, but he accidentally sent it to a USDC address instead.
Right, but there's
which doesn't make sense.
Right, doesn't make sense because like when he says my USDC address, what does that mean? Because there's a Solana one, there's an Ethereum one, there's whatever supports.
So
the assumption is
they're all different addresses.
It's probably something on the Solana chain or something
It
that
could
he
be
was
Solana,
sent.
could be Ethereum,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever the hell it is, and
Yeah.
he was sent it to a USDC address in Coinbase. That's what my assumption is.
Yeah.
But the point is that
He sent a wrong token to a wrong address, and that's lost forever. Is the gist of
right.
it.
Well, yeah. So to clarify what Brian's saying is basically like when you're talking, let's assume that it's USDC ERC20, so ETH.
Right.
It's on the ETH chain. There's dozens, if not hundreds, of coins that you can send to that address.
Right.
That will be stored as tokens, but not every platform supports those tokens. So, if it's like, Mama Fart Joe and Coinbase doesn't support that coin, but you send it to the wallet,
Right.
then it becomes a matter of like what happens.
Yeah,
And
and this
I
is
can
what-
tell you what happens. It gets burned.
Right. Well, this is what people really don't understand too. Is like when you're sending, like the addresses you have on Coinbase, those aren't your addresses. That's their addresses, right? So it's like you're not sending it to your own wallet. Like having a centralized exchange address is way different than having a cold storage wallet address.
I sent. I lost a small bet to a friend in Ohio, and he's not crypto savvy, but I didn't realize it. So I lost, and I just said, give me your USDC address, and he kind of like didn't ask a lot of questions, but it was kind of just like, oh, what's that? And I was like, just an ETH address. And so he sends me an ETH address, and I send him the 500 or 1K, whatever it was. And then like, days later, he's like, it's not there. I was like, bro, it's fucking there.
Yeah.
And we go back and forth a little bit more, and he's like, I was like, where, like, what wallet am I sending this to? Is it cold? Is it Coinbase? Like, what is it? He goes, Venmo.
Oh no.
And he's like, I was like, I don't think they support stable coins.
Yeah, only Bitcoin.
I think they support Ethereum, but not stable coins.
Interesting.
So like they can't receive tokens.
It's interesting
It
that
just got fried.
Because when you said Venmo, I was like, I didn't even know Venmo.
Venmo and PayPal both allow you to
Cash App as well.
Okay.
to hold crypto. They'll
It's
sell
like
it to you to
Bitcoin or ETH.
They'll sell it to you to markup too.
Yeah, of course. That's surprising they don't have USDC because I mean it's it's like their main thing is moving dollars around.
Well, that's probably why they don't have it.
They
Can't take any. They can't take any sort of like haircut on that stuff.
Yeah.
And now you have to support another thing. What were you saying?
I was gonna say he's got to change his name to Scam Page at this point.
He needs a handler, dude.
I actually think
He needs a handler.
I actually think he's a genius. I don't even know if half this stuff is happening.
That's what I said.
I think he's just drumming up fucking Rampage lore.
Right.
Like if you're in the gambling world and you have the ability to make yourself look like the biggest fucking schmuck on the planet.
Every 2 months he just comes up with like another fake
Hey, hi.
scam.
You want to get into a game?
Right. It's like let's get him in there.
Right? It's just like
That would be
who's
fun if he
turning
was doing
Rampage
that.
away from anything?
Yeah.
Did he ever end up paying this kid for hitting the half court
So
shot?
they actually paid him.
Who?
The school.
Massachusetts.
And did you realize that's
UMASS?
Yep. And did you realize that's Bernard Lee's son?
I did. I heard that.
That's pretty sick.
For those of you guys who don't understand what we're talking about, because we're giving you absolutely no background to it, over the weekend, this kid had to hit a free throw, a 3-pointer, and a half-court shot for $10,000 at UMASS. And he does, sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
Get set, go!
Can you blow this up? This is so small.
Are we demonetized for this?
No, maybe, but who knows?
Is it the insurance company that didn't want to pay him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that's dirty.
Why there's people like Luigi out there.
Pump the coin.
So
You made it look easy.
apparently, this contest was like insured in some sort of way.
They all are.
Yeah, I know. I just don't understand why.
Why they're insured?
Yeah, insured against what?
Well, that somebody
If they're
fucking
actually
hits it.
doing it.
They don't want it. The school.
There's very
the school's
unlikely-
not
but
paying it.
But it's not
Right.
that much money. It's only $10K.
For school, kind of is.
They don't want to pay.
Don't get me wrong. They
Brother.
make money, but like, they don't want to fucking.
They don't want to pay. It's not a lot of money, but they don't want to. They'd rather just pay the insurance because they think that, like, you know, it's plus EV to do so, which it probably isn't.
So
But-
basically,
Well, yeah, of course it's not.
so it's kind of like they have this insured for like they pay the insurance company like $500 or whatever, and then the insurance company pays the $10K
Yeah.
because they take on the risk, but
Yeah.
they're fleecing them on the price.
Have to be.
Yeah.
Insurance is a scam.
So then the
Right.
insurance, why didn't they want to pay the guy?
So the
did-
insurance said the company
he
said well,
stepped on the line.
Yeah, he actually stepped on the line. He didn't actually complete the challenge, so we're not paying.
This is peak vulture culture.
This is what insurance companies do.
Well, yeah, of course.
They make a living off of trying to
Not pay.
not pay, right? of
professional
course.
vultures. Y'all vultures.
Mm-hmm.
But they paid. They said, you know what?
They did it.
Well,
No,
I
they
guess,
did not
I guess
pay.
the school
The
paid.
school paid.
Oh, the school did pay.
Yes, from
Yeah.
what I hear.
So the
Shout
school
out to
got
school.
fucked both ways. They paid the insurance premiums, and then when they
should learn
also
them.
paid the
Yeah, that should learn
Little
them.
did they know
Right.
that Rampage was just going to swoop in and pay it for them.
Right.
Also, don't be dumb. Don't pay insurance. Give away a semester for free.
Right.
It's your product. It
Yeah,
costs
yeah.
you nothing
That
to
is
have
true.
another fucking butt in the seat.
Right.
Use
You know?
promo code
Give this kid free
half-court
books.
bangers.
Right.
Yeah, like what's going on here? Oh man, never thought a guy would hit 3 shots.
Since
what
we're
the fuck?
Since we're on basketball stuff, do you guys see the Mavs security kicking out people that were saying fire Nico signs? Nico is the GM of
Right.
the Mavs.
I didn't see that, but I did see the latest conspiracy theory, and I got to tell you, I'm fucking all
I
in
think
on
I
it.
saw this as well.
Tell me.
I am all in on this. Sheldon Adelston's widow
Okay.
bought the Mavs off of
Mark.
Cuban.
She wanted a casino,
And
right?
the impetus was that she was going to put a casino in Dallas. So she bought like 75% off of him or something like that.
Okay.
She was going to put a casino in Dallas. Well, Dallas said, oh, hold up. We are not going to be okay with that. We're not having a casino here. And she goes, okay, fine. I'll move the Mavericks to Las Vegas. And they said, absolutely not. They are beloved here. We just made the NBA championship. You're not taking my team anywhere. And she goes, okay. Get the fuck out of here, Luca.
Yo.
I'm burning this bitch to the ground.
Right. And it makes sense.
It really does.
It
I
makes
mean, of all the
sense.
conspiracies to
Right.
get behind, it's like we'll
What
send a
other reason
generational
is there
talent out of
to
here.
make a terrible trade like that?
It's
Yeah.
peak spite. You know?
This is peak Bob Nutting
And she
behavior.
don't give a fuck.
No.
Clearly.
Yeah, this is peak Bob Nutting behavior.
Yeah,
I
Bob
mean,
Nutting.
the owner of the Pirates.
Yeah.
Of course, I should have fucking just guessed that one. Jesus Christ.
Like, oh, you're really good? Get the fuck out of here, man. We don't have the money or time to pay you. Move along.
Right.
So, rumor is, according to the conspiracy, the Las Vegas Mavericks are coming, baby. The Las Vegas Mavericks are coming.
Well,
I thought you were going to say rumors there's going to be a casino
In Dallas?
I feel,
Just give us Luca back.
I feel like the Dallas casino makes more sense than the Las Vegas Mavericks, you know? Because why would
No. Basketball will be here for sure.
Oh,
100%.
it's supposed to be?
It will.
No, it's not even
It's
close.
just
I think it's like a done deal. It just has to happen.
Yeah.
Did you see what
They
how
said-
the Knights are?
They said within the next 5 years there'll be basketball here and LeBron's going to own the team.
They being who?
I just
They,
rumors.
you know, the
the
people.
rumor mill.
The people, you know?
But maybe he won't own the team if Adelston
It
gets.
is kind of funny how for a long time they didn't want sports in Vegas because they thought that there'd be some conspiracy nonsense. But
Don't
now
worry,
everyone
it's
wants-
everywhere.
Everyone wants sports in
Well,
Vegas.
right.
The
There's
craziest
baseball
part-
coming in Vegas,
I mean,
yeah?
Yeah,
Baseball's the next,
2028.
2 years?
2028. I think
Can't
I'm
wait.
pretty
It's supposed
sure
to be
that's
the
right.
Las Vegas Athletics is the idea?
It will be it's the A's. They're just moving here.
The crazy thing with the whole Vegas can't have sports because
LOL conspiracy.
of
Gambling.
like gambling or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Too much
like
influence on the players.
what an
That's it is.
insane concept. Like, well, if they're in the city where the people gamble, then of course the players will just be subjected to being, bought off and
I
everything
mean,
else.
I think there's some validity to it.
It's just optics.
Just, I'm not saying I'm not fully disagreeing with you, Berk. So it's like, just calm down for a second. I'm just saying that, like, when you're out and about, you're at the casinos, you're at dinner, you're here. It's way easier to be in touch and be involved with these types of people, as if you were like in, Dallas or somewhere else that these people aren't residing in. So I think being able to be influenced is slightly more, and I'm not saying that, yes, that's 100% going to happen and it would be so much more, but probably slightly more.
Let me run through this. Well, hold on a second. Let me just run through this logic problem really quickly. So you're out to dinner. You're a highly influential athlete.
At Carbone,
You're just hanging out at Carbone.
Yeah, if someone's going to walk up to you. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, like, you just run in the same circles when you're in more closer proximity. You don't agree? You don't think that you would, like...
The answer, I think, is the internet.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get in touch with fucking anybody.
Do you run into more, like, Wells and people that gamble when you're in Vegas or when you're in Pittsburgh?
Well, it's different.
What is different?
Your attitude.
What is different is if I were the linchpin to them making money, my location will not matter. Like if they think I could be bought off, I could be in Florida.
I know,
and I'm still gonna get a text message.
I just think it's like
the Raptors.
I think it's just more likely to happen when you're in Vegas. You're at a club. You meet somebody who knows somebody, and then he introduce you, and things happen. I just think it's a lot easier when you're just like always surrounded by that, as opposed to just being in Pittsburgh.
Well, then why hasn't UNLV been like under scandal for point shaving?
Like I said, I'm not trying to say I completely disagree with you. I do agree that it.
No, but I mean, like by comparison to the rest of the nation, like why aren't they just the leading candidate
for tomfoolery?
Right,
tomfoolery. Maybe they are. Maybe they're very quiet about it.
Maybe because it's here, it's done very well.
It feels like nonsense.
I do agree with you that I listen. I'm on your side. I don't think that it really matters that much, but I think it could matter a little bit. But not enough to make a difference, obviously.
I just think that's what
people go out to clubs and party everywhere, and you meet someone that says, hey, like, you want to not score 20 points today? You're like, you know what? I can do that.
And it's different now, too, because obviously there's gambling everywhere. There's casinos everywhere, right? So, like, why not have sports in Vegas? Because at one time, it was literally the only place you could gamble in the entire country on sports was Vegas.
But don't you think that's kind of
that's why bookies got rich?
Don't you think that being the case now is kind of proof that there's nothing to this notion that wherever there's gambling, there's corruption? Like, clearly we've decided as a nation we're going to open up the doors coast to coast for gambling to exist.
There was a lot of corruption in Las Vegas.
There's corruption everywhere.
Right, but I'm saying there was more in Vegas. I mean, the whole mob moved in and...
It would be easier to get away with it way back when. You just tell someone that lives in who knows where, hey, like, don't score this many points. I'm going to go make a bet for you.
Yeah.
It's easier that way.
Yeah, way easier whenever there's a disconnect, right? Like, people would be under a more... Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just think that, like, these are stories that we tell ourselves as humans because it's an easy logical leap to go from A to B, where it's like, oh, gambling leads to corruption, and there are athletes in that city. Therefore... corruption plus athletes equal.
And I do largely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I want to make a scandal YouTube video now.
About?
Every single fucking one of them that's in the last 5 years.
Oh, you mean just like the Jonte stuff? And
everything. Like, there's so many.
You know that more stuff has been coming out about that ring.
Well, yeah. It's
like heavily poker influenced.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, not heavily, but like there's a small group that ran around in that circle from poker that are all like, have their day in court coming up. And it started off with just the Shohei stuff. And now it's become like college sports, basketball.
They're two different rings for what it's worth.
No, they're not.
Showtime?
No, they're not.
Interesting.
Showtime.
They absolutely are not.
Okay.
It's the same half a dozen guys.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
If you can get action 24/7 with sick edge, you're probably going to do that.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, if you could just basketball, football, baseball, like, why would you not just do all the sports if you're going to find ways to cheat and have an edge?
To be clear, the Shohei stuff, I don't think was any sort of corruption on the Shohei side. I think that was just. I'm not fully sure. I'm not sure what the whole betting profile and everything with Shohei was, but it was his interpreter gambling away his money to these people. So they were taking his bets.
Right.
That same group was also influencing and shaving or whatever with like, what was it, Jonte Porter?
Jonte Porter,
Jonte Porter,
So they,
a lot of college basketball games.
correct. So they were on both sides of it, right?
Of course.
They were taking a lot of bets, which I don't know. I don't know enough about the Shohei stuff because I've only seen surface stuff like perusing the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw like initially he was under a lot of scrutiny because a lot of the bets coming in were like pro Shohei.
They were,
or maybe they were betting against Shohei. I can't remember.
Are you talking about for people putting in bets like his...
Not people, his interpreter.
Okay.
Whatever his interpreter was betting on.
Okay. I mean, it probably wasn't his unders considering his numbers.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
yeah, I don't know what his bets were.
It's funny because the same reason some people don't bet on sports by saying it's like probably rigged, the same people that probably don't play on online poker, and to a degree that they are right. Like you're getting rigged, it's cheated. Like there's some things going on that you don't know.
Man,
yeah. I think like for both, it's concentrated to specific things. Like soccer
in particular. I remember seeing a documentary where like the B leagues were like so easily manipulated.
Yeah. I mean, like when there's a market for basically amateur athletes that aren't being paid very much, they're obviously going to be a lot more susceptible to this type of stuff. Boxing is another one where it's just like,
that's
pretty
one-on-one.
easy.
Tennis.
Yeah.
But
Like,
it's
every
different
single...
with poker than it is with like with sports betting, right? When it becomes being rigged, right? Because when you're rigging sports, you're literally fucking over the bookie. When it's poker, you're fucking over the other people that are playing.
Right, because it's zero
Soccer
sum.
also seems like the easiest one too, because you would just need the goalie, right?
Maybe
like if that's the person you want to juice, like it seems like it'd be
That'd
the
be the
goalie.
one.
Could be a good place to start. Yeah.
Start with the higher lowers for goals scored.
Either the goalie or their highest scoring player. On the
I've
game.
heard like wild stories in Ivy's room about like match fixing and like high stakes gambling. I can't remember who was involved, and even if I could, I wouldn't.
I was gonna say, don't say the name. Shit.
But I remember there being one story where they had like 7 figures down on this like random match in middle of nowhere India or some shit like that. I can't remember any of the details.
I hope it wasn't a cricket match because then you have to wait like 7.5 weeks to figure out if they're gonna do it.
Are you talking boxing? Or are you talking soccer?
It was soccer.
Okay.
And I guess that they either bet like tie or something like. Anyway, they were losing their bet going into like penalty time or something along those lines. They just shut the lights off. They just shut the lights off, and it was no decision.
What?
They had the lights shut off. They just had the lights shut off, and it ended up being like a no bet.
It's so crazy how like somebody can have so much influence. Like
money talks, bro.
I know.
These are the real locks of the century of the week.
Right.
Like find yourself a friend like that.
I'm saying
to the top.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. People, they get greedy.
Mm-hmm.
They get greedy because there's surely ways to do this because the people that do it sharply don't get caught.
No, I mean it's happened for so many years where people did not get caught when it comes down to it. Like we don't only have like a handful of situations that we know about.
Technology was much worse back then too.
For point scanning, whatever, shaving and stuff like that. But also the reason being, like you can see the amount of bets now. Like you see the action that's going down.
Well,
for the most part,
that's public. There's still a massive black market.
No, of course, but I feel like that's
at that point though. I think it's probably more level playing field. Like both sides are just like manipulating.
Yeah, but I feel like that's true.
The guy betting has the goalie of Team A, and the guy taking the bet has the goalie on Team B. It just turns into like a 12-12 shootout.
How sick is that? There's 2 rings trying to fix the same game.
Yeah, right.
Like, hey, you're gonna let them score. Like, no, you're gonna let them score.
I will say I don't trust sports at all.
I mean, that's crazy talk.
I mean, sure it is, man. I just like there's just too much shit going on. People like
sure if you want to talk about like low level stuff, but the MLB, NFL, NBA, like
what do you mean?
Even the Jonte stuff, it's just like it had no impact on the game whatsoever.
Yeah, but Tim Donahue didn't have any impact on the game. Come on, man. Like this shit goes deep. Like there's plenty of shit. Like
Yeah, but that's
just dirty.
That's different.
But I
It's
guess
not.
that's why when it comes to things like this, it's better to target like individual player props and be sharp about it versus like overall results.
Well, the problem with the individual player props is if there is a spike in bets going on an individual player prop, there's an issue.
Yeah.
Because nobody fucking bets X on fucking this. Like, this guy's under.
It's weird when it's like not the highest profile athlete.
Yeah, it's like a random player. All of a sudden, all this money comes in.
Like you use Saquon numbers. It's like,
Well,
okay,
it's
this guy's
different,
people are gonna
Yeah,
bet
but
on
it'll
him.
never be a high profile athlete. They
Right.
get paid too much.
Right,
That's
exactly.
why it was the referees. That's why it was Tim Donahue. Right? Like,
I mean, Scary Terry's under investigation for that same.
who
Terry,
the fuck is Scary Terry?
not Scary Terry. Terry Rozier.
I don't know who that is.
He's
Rozier,
a
basketball player.
point guard for. What I think he was in the Charlotte Hornets when this happened, or it might have been on Miami. But
He was on the Raptors for a while.
Means
Wow.
nothing to me. But
Hey.
that,
Was he
that
on the
sounds about
Raptors?
Right?
Yeah.
oh, that makes sense because he's Jonte's friend, probably.
All right.
Yeah, but it's wild.
Moving into
Got to get Joey on the case.
Moving into a non-scam, Landon was able to.
Oh, I scammed.
That's a scam.
I didn't swap with anybody.
That's a fucking scam.
Who would swap? Who's playing a fucking Venetian one day?
Everybody.
Just
Hey,
you
man.
and Bex.
There was 300 people in there.
Yeah, that's
300
crazy.
Warriors. I mean, it was the same day as the day 2 of the MSPT.
Venetian tournaments the last couple of
I'm
days
surprised
were
they don't run.
absurd.
I'm surprised they don't run more of these if they're getting that type of number for a single
I
day.
think that there was just a lot of people, and I think, like I said, for yesterday for the Poker Go satellite, there was a good 100 people or 70 people that I've never seen a day in my life. Like it was
Interesting.
just like really wild. I don't know where all these people came from.
So an $1,100 one-day event, $200K guarantee. You take it home for $51,163. You actually chopped 3 ways, but played it out for $10K.
Yeah.
So first was meant to be 60.
First was meant to be 60.
You got 51.
Yeah.
Everyone else got 41.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a trophy for this?
I got a coin. No trophy.
Wow.
No lion.
You don't get a trophy for these, like,
1 days.
yeah, you gotta.
Yeah,
you gotta,
it's
you
got to
gotta-
be a 2-day
right.
tournament.
2
Like
day,
Seaward has a
right.
tournament from the Venetian for 400.
I mean,
He's got a lion
yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of a scam.
for 26K.
It's not about buy-ins, man.
Nope.
Not about
I chopped the Venetian once. I didn't get a trophy. That
Yeah.
was like 2000. It
because you chopped.
was literally 2008.
Good at Venetian 1100s.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while, you know.
Well, has it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for Venetian,
Oh, okay.
the first ever recorded cash on the Hennen Mob was that.
It's only been a couple months since the WPT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last month was Poker Go. I got second. That was close.
That's true too.
Yeah, doing well. Karma farming works, man.
Yeah.
I
Who
hate
needs
you so
money?
much.
Who needs help?
I hate you so much.
Yeah. I kind of took the worst of it in the deal, but I also kind of saw that the guy that like initiated the deal was very ready to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, like there's a good chance like I get the punt return, you know?
Right.
You were gonna get that anyway, since who it was, right?
No, well, I mean, it wasn't from Cal. It was me, Cal, and this other guy. Didn't really know the other guy, but he was like, okay, like it seems fair enough. Stacks are like 35 bigs, 30 bigs, and like 25, and he was like, whatever. Like I'm ready to go home. It's 2:30 in the morning and all that.
It was a
jazz.
1 day.
It was a 1 day, yeah. So it was gonna run pretty late. So Cal and I were just like, sure, that's fine. And then the first opportunity he got to try to play a big pot, he took it, and I had a good hand, so I got to be the
Was
beneficiary.
the final table inside that new studio of theirs?
No, it was not. It was just like on the floor, and I guess they did test runs for the MSPT. But I guess they're gonna run some more tournaments at the Venetian now that they have this new room, the new studio room, which looks really
Looks nice. Yeah, it does.
So yeah, I'm excited to play more tournaments and play on some more streams if I can.
You're playing the 5K today, right?
I am playing the 5K at the studio today.
I wonder what type of turnout it's gonna get. I'm pretty sure it might be pretty big.
I don't know, because like a lot of the people that do play the satellite are playing the satellite to like shot take the 5K.
Yeah, I don't think like a lot of. I would say maybe 10 might go in there.
I do think it would be kind of cool if while the stuff was running at the studio, they ran satellites for these events in the Aria poker room. I just don't know if that
They used to do that.
like how that works.
So the reason they don't is because mostly like the biggest one they've gotten for a Poker Go studio is like 70 people, and like previous to that they were like 20 to 30 like just showing up.
Yeah. Why?
So-
Why? What does that matter?
Well, they're just very unsure.
I don't. Why? They're not guaranteeing anything.
If they run a 1K satellite,
What's the difference if it's a one table satellite, 2, 3, 4, 5? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, sure, but
yeah, there's no
Yeah,
guarantee.
you need 9 to get it off. Who gives a shit?
yeah, sure.
I
Like
don't know.
while there's
In that
stuff
sense,
running,
yeah,
and then they
you're
run
right.
it on the side. So someone busts a tournament in the studio. Like if I busted a tournament in the studio and there was a time to like max late a satellite to play the next event the next day, I would for sure do it.
You and everybody else that's
It's
playing
interesting
probably.
because I think so for anybody who hasn't seen the Venetian's live stream setup, it's fucking gorgeous. PokerGo did an amazing job setting up this room, and they're doing a good job, like, you know, getting it out there. The MSPT final table, 1600 main event, I believe,
1600, yes.
1600.
came to conclusion yesterday, and you know, if you didn't see it across your timeline, I'd be shocked.
Look at that. That's nice.
They did a wonderful job. Bally Live can take a lot of notes here. This is how you use LED screens properly. And for what it's worth, like, that room is not big.
It's tiny.
So they did a really great job of like setting up the camera shots, giving themselves workable angles where everything looks good. Like, that's what the room looks like.
You want to know what the most important thing I think is? That back corner. That lighted back black, like the striped back corner, how they try to, I don't know what it is, what makes it
Like
look
adds
like
depth.
it's bigger, but that corner makes it look like it's bigger.
Well, the specific reason for that corner is it's a shot. It's in a shot. So, like, that's something Maury does a great job of, is making sure that there aren't any blind angles where you just have a direct camera shot on a guy and you're just staring at a white wall.
I like that everybody knows where they're supposed to sit too. If you look at the table, the way it's all just angled off.
Yeah. PokerGo's same. But yeah, I think that they did a great job. It looks gorgeous. And what I was going to say off of that is, like, when you see the individual shots, they look really good. The tights are nice. The background's never muted. You're never just like staring at a corner of a TV or anything along those lines. Everything is like spaced properly and looks good both tight and wide. And I think what this lends itself to, and I don't know if this is the plan, maybe we'll talk to Tommy somewhere down the line, but this, you know, a lot of what drives numbers to go is the fact that they get to play in the studio. And the idea of like the final table being televised, or not televised, but broadcast either on PokerGo or YouTube and live streamed and everything else. I think like Venetian can kind of follow suit. They could literally just run parallel series to Go every time that they do it. Poker Masters, like whatever, come up with some similar sort of. I would just carbon copy them. Like you run Poker Masters, we're running the Mini Masters,
Right.
right? Like I would literally just carbon copy them, have 4 series a year that have the exact same point structure with the exact same leaderboard and everything else, all with a free roll at the end.
And a 10% like or 90% stake reduction.
Yeah.
So instead of playing a 10K, you're playing a 1K.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
exactly. I would
10 for the
just
price,
totally mirror it. Today's a 5K at Go. We're running a 500 Venetian,
That's actually fucking genius.
right? And it's just like every day you're pumping out a final table.
Yep.
You know, for some period of time, you get this like mid stakes leaderboard, especially for locals.
And
you know,
there's
there's so
content.
many locals that are in that sort of buy-in range.
And a lot of the high stakes guys will show up too, I'm sure.
Right.
Like I know a lot of the guys that would like show up to max the 1600 because it's still gonna be a good tournament.
Yeah.
That's
And you don't
fine.
even have to do like 1/10. You could do like, 20% if you wanted.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, they're doing a 5K, we'll do a 1K if you're trying to catch like overflow or whatever. But point is that I think that they now are armed with an asset that nobody else can really utilize or rival them with, right? So it's like, the wind's gorgeous and they're taking most of the tournament traffic in Las Vegas. I think this is a leveler because they only get the live stream once a year. It's just that December festival where they hire share hands to come in and do the whole thing with WPT collaboration.
Ballroom stuff.
Yeah, the Wynn doesn't have the ability to leverage this. And again, like this is not your old Venetian, right?
No,
this isn't
it's
the
not.
gold chairs and the eyesore.
Sheldon's gone, man.
Yeah, I mean this room looks beautiful. People are gonna want to play there.
Yes. Do you think that the stream is worth that much? Like in the sense of
I think it's worth more to that stake level than it is to the guys at Go Studio.
Because people want to get there.
I wonder if you'd see the Win do something similar if this is successful.
If it's successful, right.
Yeah. I mean, if it is, which would be
for
good
all
for
of us is
poker.
great.
Yeah.
For Venetian, it's obviously not ideal, but like for the collective, it's great. Yeah, I think that, look, man, at the studio, the names are the names. You know, every now and again, a new name emerges. Like we saw David Coleman kind of put his name on the map via the studio, and God Laskowitz is trying to make a run for somebody to be known, and maybe like a Joseph type or whatever. But like, we don't know the mid stakes grinders really anymore, and they're the ones. No offense to the guys playing 5Ks and above, but they're the ones that are really out there beating the pavement and traveling coast to coast, and they're showing up to all of the events that are covered the most by the poker media. Mm-hmm. They're showing up to the run goods. They're showing up to the WPTs, the primes, the World Series circuits, the Choctaws of the world.
Hi.
Right? And I'm saying, like, this is an opportunity for them now to kind of like become the next Becker. Becker got known from winter photos, you know? You put up 30 winter photos a year and somebody like Daniel takes notice. Well, if you make the Venetian live stream final table a bunch, the way that, you know, dozens of guys have done at Go Studio, this gives a real opportunity now for some younger kids to create opportunity, get known, maybe find backing so that they can get to the Go Studio, maybe find coaching so that they can get to the Go Studio. Like, I think that, and the fact that they're in a partnership with PokerGo to begin with, this now could become like a feeding funnel of sorts, you know, where instead of running satellites, you just have two simultaneous series.
It's great to have stepping stones and pathways to move up. Like,
yeah, especially when it's like abundantly clear.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's like, okay, we have the mini masters this quarter going on at the Venetian, and they'll still be able to run their other stuff in between, the daily deep stacks. So maybe they just, you know, take the daily deeps, or not daily deep stacks, but take the deep stacks series and repackage it in a similar way. But really like the idea of adding a leaderboard, really like the idea of adding like a 250K free roll to the top 50. Yeah. Imagine that they do a 250K free roll to the top 50, right? And I know that they have like some promo money to work with too. So it's like this could be a great way to redistribute it. But okay, so 250K, 50 people. Now you're talking about like, don't want to math on there. Is it $500 or 5K in value?
5K.
5K in value. Yeah, that's a big deal for guys playing an average buy-in of $500.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's fucking nice. You know?
Leaderboards.
First place is like 90,000.
Leaderboards need to happen, I think.
Doesn't the Orleans do something like this, Connie?
I don't know.
I feel like the Orleans had like leaderboards for like their little tournaments.
I'm definitely sure they do.
Yeah.
Somebody actually said it to me recently. Like, oh, if you win this, you got to keep playing. I'm like, no, I'm not.
And you're right. I think people really do like those leaderboards.
I'm not going to put my life around this, but if I'm doing nothing, I'll show up.
The big thing with leaderboards is that they have to be worth it, right?
Yes.
Because like, I mean, at Go, like any leaderboard would be worth it because the rake is like all but non-existent.
1% and there's $1 million free roll at the end.
Yeah. But like, if you're talking about the Orleans, if they're kicking back, like, you know, let's say it's 100K free roll, something along those lines.
Nothing along those lines.
Right. But let's say it's even that much, like 100K free roll, but you're paying like, you know, 23% on every event that you play, on every bullet that you fire. It's just, you're not beating the rake to the tune of it being worth you getting into a free roll that might have the value of like $800.
Yeah, I think basically what they do is just like whoever has the most points at the end of X gets like $1,000 or something.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
But theirs is like structured in a way where like you need to like play literally everything to win it. Where like I think it's much better if you have like, oh, we have the series, and then if you play and we have a leaderboard, so it's not like you have to be grinding every single thing, you know, every day to have a chance to win the leaderboard.
Yeah,
you just have to play the events that are
I mean, that's what
allocated
Go does.
it.
Go does for each different series they run has its own leaderboard.
Right.
It's like a sub leaderboard, and then there's a total leaderboard.
Yeah, that's nice too. That they give like, I think they give like 50K to the individual series leader.
Yeah, because not everybody can be here in town at the right time, and you know.
Let me say something. at Borgata, they had a leaderboard, right? And I'm pretty sure they were giving fucking people points for rebuys. Do not do that.
I don't know what that means.
So, like, you were getting points on the leaderboard for how many bullets you were in for.
Like, literally, if you bought in a second time, they give you 10 points?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm pretty sure because one of my friends was up there and he's like, I cast something, but like, I shouldn't have this many points, but I'm in for X. And he's like, I think I'm getting points for my rebuys.
I mean, that seems silly. It also seems like difficult to track, but
Points are cashes. Do it that way.
Yeah, the 1-to-1 cash ratio that Go does. I do think that like it's important to be able to localize it and make an event of it the way that Go does and the way the Venetian has an opportunity to. Because like, you know, WSOP Circuit also has a leaderboard that culminates in the Circuit Championship that this past year was run at Commerce.
TOC.
And it's like, yeah, that Tournament of Champions used to be a very big deal.
That's not a leaderboard, right? That you just get invited that if you win an event.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing, right? It's like if you win an event, you qualify. For Go, it's like if you're in the top 50, you qualify. Like it you know, you can play with
some
the
stipulation-based incentive.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, you can play with the metrics of how you get in. But I think the problem with the circuit is that it just exists, right? For the year, the schedule is just out there. Sometimes there's conflicting stops where it's like maybe Choctaw's happening on the West Coast and Cherokee's happening on the East Coast, like around the same time type of stuff. But more importantly, like the only coverage we ever really see of it, it's kind of a quiet grind. It's like baseball's minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't get to watch any of it. Nothing's really streamed or televised until you finally get to the TOC. And the problem is, I think that like there isn't a lot of lore leading up to it. There isn't a lot of fanfare. There's not much really driving people stop to stop unless they're already kind of in it.
The only time I know one's going on is if Maurice or Ari wins one.
Right.
So something actually interesting that Callipy was telling me yesterday. There used to be a leaderboard for the West Coast Swing.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
But
they were all different.
I don't remember what it was. The West Coast Swing was very brief. It only existed in its fullest capacity for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there was a leaderboard that you got some incentive. You got something if you just played all three. I remember that, like some sort of rake break or.
Was it different companies?
What do you mean?
Like it wasn't a W. All
they
three
were all WPTs.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, it was LAPC, Bay 101, and then Thunder Valley.
Okay.
But I think it only existed in its entirety for like maybe 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Before Bay 101 changed or kind of vacated the WPT.
Or we just stopped paying.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool to see a lot more leaderboards and stuff around. Like just a lot more. Also, just a lot more. What do you call that? I guess collaboration between companies in a way, like just in scheduling and shit like that. Because like there's so many people out there that would love to go bang 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 on the East Coast or bang 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 on the West Coast, like just hit the couple stops.
I think the big thing that people suffer from is not like they create these value adds to their room and then they don't take advantage of it. Like Best Bet Jacksonville is a great example in my mind.
Okay, go on.
It's like they have a live stream. As far as I can tell, it looks good. They do a decent job of it, but like they don't leverage it, right? Like if I were them, I would partner with PokerGo and then become the East Coast room that Go is kind of operating and managing, right? So now they could do the same thing. They run 4 series a year that coincides with Go. And they have a leader. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, like that template just seems so obvious and so much more impactful and successful at a lower stake level than it does at the high roller level.
I agree with
that.
The
high rollers aren't playing for fanfare.
Yeah.
Like they're doing everything for bottom line.
Of course. And
they're doing it in an arena where the ROI is relatively low. But like for the open public and the open fields, the ROIs are much higher. They would obviously love to make names for themselves. They're on the rise. And it's like, if you're going to be a room like Best Bet that has a stream, I'm trying to think who else on the East. They might be the only East Coast stream that I can even think of.
Borgata has a stream.
Well, Borgata recently reinvigorated. I guess like for a while they just didn't have
It's 2
tournaments.
years. Yeah, it's been like 2 years, I think.
Yeah, they've always had a stream, but like, but yeah, so like, okay, so Borgata has one and Best Bet has one, but Borgata only.
Seminole has one too.
No.
What do you mean?
No, they bring people in.
Oh, okay.
They don't have a stream, and I think the same with Borgata. I don't think they have a fixed stream. I think they just bring people in during the series.
Yeah, they use Gorilla Poker.
Yeah, see, so like those two places don't have a stream in house. Best Bet has a permanent stream. They just run cash, and they stream it. Right, like they have what the Venetian has. They have an on-property stream that they can utilize anytime that they wish.
I mean, they have a room set up for a stream at all times.
Who?
Borgata.
Right, but they don't have anybody running it.
Okay, I see
right?
what you're saying.
And like Seminole doesn't even have
a stream.
They just like open up a ballroom the way that the Wind does whenever they run big events.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that like if you're, I think what Tommy did a great job of at the Venetian was he had a vision of like, I want to create this stream room and it has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think PokerGo was like the proper partnership here to kind of get that off the ground. I'm excited to see what they do moving forward, but we'll see.
Raise the mid stakes.
We'll see. Let's get out of here on some less than happy news. Unfortunately, today we saw the passing of Miami John Cernuto. He passed at 81. He was fighting cancer and recently was put into hospice. He passed away earlier this morning. For those who might not know Miami John, he's the most decorated tournament player to ever exist as far as cashes go. He leads the Hendon Mob with most cashes of all time. 597. I don't know Roland.
He's a legend.
Is Alan Angle Ari?
Yeah, Alan, yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah, it's Ari.
Okay.
There's old Kessler.
Pretty good chance Ari at some point in time in the next 30 years passes.
He just has to take a knee now.
Miami John? Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Sorry, Ari.
Sorry, Ari. You're done.
You got to switch to cash, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. It's long overdue anyway. Yeah, a lot of conversation kind of floating around about honoring Miami John, kind of giving him his induction to the Hall of Fame. I did see that James Wood put a tweet out yesterday.
It's right next to you, Matt.
My screen's black.
Oh.
But he said that Miami John's son has asked me to speak to his friends in the poker community about his condition. This was prior to his passing. He is surrounded by family, cared for by hospice, and God's grace, completely at peace. There will be no service now, but a celebration of life in June at the WSOP. So it sounds like they do have plans to kind of celebrate his life to the poker community later this summer. What that means for the Hall, I don't really think is an important conversation at this point. But I'm sure somewhere down the line, like it'll get debated as these conversations tend to. But thoughts and prayers out to Miami John and his family. Obviously, he is a staple in the poker community. It's going to be sad not to see him out there grinding the way he has for the better part of what I assume had to be at least 3 or 4 decades.
Yeah, I mean, he was still out there this summer grinding.
Yeah, I think his
tournaments and doing his thing.
I think his last recorded cash was
end of July or end of June this year.
Yeah, right after series or right around the series.
Yeah.
Always tough to see these losses. So yeah, hope the best for everybody that is close to him. That's gonna do it for us. We're gonna be back tomorrow at noon per usual. One of these days we're gonna get Jesse Sylvia back in here. I don't know when.
What?
I think he gets back tomorrow, but I'm not positive.
Where is he? Dubai?
I don't know where he went. I think he went to the East Coast.
Yeah, I think you went home.
The Vineyard.
He's been at the Vineyard. The Vineyard.
Bad time to go back east, man. It's cold. It's not warm.
Nobody wants to be on the Cape when it's cold.
Right. Summertime, baby.
Yeah.
Skip the World Series.
I think everybody just
Do
wants to
yourself a
be
favor.
In the Vineyard. It's fine.
Yeah.
In the Vineyard. Life's
Maybe.
good.
Maybe. All right. That'll do it for us. We'll see you guys all at noon tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Later,
Peace.
Scott.
Peace.